Welcome back to Last Off Sports Talk. Today is Sunday, March 28th, 2026, and on episode 110 here, I'm with Kean Kropp and Carson Kropp. I'm Cody Kropp, and we got another 2026 NFL Draft Rankings Draft Brothers episode, our sixth positional rankings episode of this draft season. We got the linebackers today. We're going to be giving you our top 5 consensus ranked linebackers. We watched them all, ranked them up, and yeah, we're going to start it off with number 5 here. We're going to start off with C.J. Allen from Georgia, 6'1", 230 pounds. 2025 season, he played 13 games. He had 88 total tackles, 47 solo, 3.5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 4 passes defended, and 0 picks. Kean had him 7, I had him 4, and Carson had him 3.
This guy isn't your playmaker.
Sure.
He isn't going to be your most explosive or exciting linebacker, but he feels safe, and he's so well-rounded. As a run defender, he mirrors the ball and fills the gap well to stop the ball carrier in his tracks, squares up to the ball carrier, drives through the tackle. Athletically, he has good pursuit speed, pursuit angle to run to the ball and make a play, and he has good bursts and handwork to avoid or fight through blockers and dart towards the ball carrier. Like I said, overall, he's just very well-rounded. He's shown that he has the power to blow through a running back in pass protection and get to the quarterback. Mm-hmm. And behind the line of scrimmage, or on his side of the line of scrimmage, he also has the speed to keep up with running backs and tight ends in coverage. Now, like I said, he isn't your ball hawk. He isn't your edge blitzer. He isn't your super handsy, savvy guy, but he just feels like he can do everything well, and he feels like he's going to hold down the middle of a defense and command them and make a tackle when he has to.
I agree with you. He's not your flashy, going to make a big play, but he plays like a leader. He plays like he's confident in what's going on, even though he's not going to make a big splash play. As far as blitzing, I think when he does blitz, it is effective. He's able to do that very well. He's got great physicality. He always finishes his tackles strong, and he's just always looking to lay the boom if he can. Just tough, but controlled at the same time, and just kind of, but like you said, average quickness. But I think he's always able to keep his leverage to finish that tackle.
Yeah, the main thing that really jumped out to me was that he's so powerful shooting through the gap to meet a running back or blitz the quarterback, knocks that ball carrier backwards with force using his thick and I thought he was like kind of stumpy. I was surprised that he was 6'1", 230. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
But he packs more of a punch than that, I would say. Throws his whole body into every single tackle. Yeah. He dives if he has to. He wants to bring down the ball carrier one way or another. When he's in pursuit, as Carson said, he's got surprising speed. I didn't expect that. Grabs a gear that I really did not expect. This one could be a little pro-con, but I love he's not afraid to shoot the gap and blow up a play in the backfield, even if he picks the wrong gap.
Yeah.
I just like his predicting and aggressiveness in a blitzing / run stopping linebacker like this. And if you get into close quarters with C.J. Allen, he's not going to miss attack. He's not going to miss that tackle with his strength. Into the cons. I think that he looks kind of tight whenever he has to turn laterally or move laterally. I think he looks a little bit uncomfortable in open space. Like he just had a 55.5 coverage grade in 2025, and I think you can kind of see that sometimes. He does have the speed to keep up with a tight end, at least straight line. If that tight end turns in his routes, I think that he might get screwed. And there are times where sometimes he takes the wrong angle of the ball carrier or has to maneuver around blockers, and that really slows him down. Stopping and starting as he roams the field is not that smooth. And sometimes he tries to tackle the ball carrier with mostly just the force of his body. The wrap-up is not super consistent, but I do love the power this guy plays with consistently.
I agree with you. If we're going to nitpick a little bit more, which I will, you said in the pros, he'll get in there in whatever gap he can pretty much get in and make the tackle, which I completely agree with. But to me, it seemed like he kind of got there a step late sometimes, whether that's speed. Like, I want to see him get further in there to make the tackle, get deeper into the line of scrimmage. But that's nitpicking. Other than that, I agree with what you said.
Yeah, for me, it's just what I already said. Not any excellent traits, and I like to see some excellent traits out of linebackers.
Yeah.
And then also, just nitpicking, I would say maybe slightly undersized at 6'1", 230, but looking at some other linebackers say his height and weights, that's really not that undersized, I guess, because a lot of guys are like that. And that leads me to my comp, where I have him come to a guy that also stays square through traffic and bursts towards the play, and that's his Georgia predecessor, Roquan Smith.
Ooh.
Nice.
Who's also about 6'1", 230. So
Yeah.
I'm really not that concerned about his size.
I forgot Roquan went to Georgia. My comp, he's an armadillo.
Ooh.
In its normal form, the armadillo is not a very smooth or quick mover laterally. But when attacking is needed, this armadillo, not all armadillos,
Okay, yeah.
this armadillo curls up into a ball and rolls toward the enemy with force, able to stop them in their tracks.
That's great. I love it.
Thanks for clarifying. So I was like,
Yeah.
do armadillos really do that?
No.
I was like, are they that fast?
This is an attacking armadillo.
Oh, okay. An offensive
Glad we
armadillo.
clarified.
Yeah, military training with this guy.
Number 4, we got Anthony Hill Jr. from Texas. 6'2", 238 pounds. In 2025, he played 10 games. He had 69 total tackles, 37 solo, 4 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 3 forced fumbles with a fumble recovery, 1 pass defended, and 2 picks. Kean had him 5, Carson had him 5, and I had him at my 3. I really like this guy because he's your 3-down style of linebacker. He's good on every phase of the defense, and by that, I got stats. I normally don't have stats, but I went, I dug a little bit here. In his 3 seasons at Texas, he posted 31.5 tackles for loss, 17 sacks, and 8 forced fumbles. That's pretty good numbers. And he's just, I really like my linebackers have instincts. And this guy's got good instincts. He's got good diagnosing ability, too, in my opinion. Just overall good athleticism, good control, and pretty good lateral agility. It's not really, he doesn't excel in that part of the game, but it's there when he needs it. And to finish it off, I think he comes downhill with a purpose, and I love that. And a linebacker, but he also has that coverage ability and blitz ability if you need it, and he can wrap up, reliable tackler. There's just a lot of good about this guy's game.
Yeah.
He's like a jack of all trades style player.
I completely agree. I think he's an all-around linebacker. He does pretty well meeting a running back in the gap. He absorbs that contact with his chest, wraps up, drops down the running back in his grasp. Just textbook stuff. Just a 4.5% missed tackle rate in 2025. That's really good. A lot of guys are like up around 15%, which is pretty concerning. But this guy is not. Very good wrap-up, as Cody said. Solid blitzer, as Cody said as well. Pass rusher actually shows some push into the offensive lineman. Whenever, like a lot of guys, sometimes they get locked into an offensive lineman. They're trying to get around him. They're just basically squirming.
Yeah.
They're kind of squirming to try to get loose. But this guy's actually shoving back. He's showing off a little bit of pass rush in his repertoire.
Ooh, nice word.
And then, as Cody said, with the instincts, I saw that as well. Solid play recognition. This guy's predicting on most plays, and I love that. Seems like he's moving toward the proper player, like before the entire defense is. It looks like he's the first one moving toward that ball carrier, which is honestly, I think that's kind of what he needs to do if he wants to be successful in the NFL, because I have concerns before we get too deep into his cons, but I think his short area quickness isn't that good. Long speed, I think, is there. But reacting instead of predicting would cause him to lose the ground on the ball carrier. So I like that he is predicting, at least taking those chances.
I agree. Instincts seem good. Fills gaps in the run game because of that. And in the hole, he has everything he needs to stand the guy up. Instincts also allow him to make plays on the ball in coverage. Like Ian said, he's not the most quick, but his instincts lead him to those plays. Also, like you guys said, he's a great pass rusher, whether he's coming from the linebacker spot or the edge, he's effective. And then just going into cons, I agree with what Kean already touched on. My biggest thing is he's just not very laterally quick, and his hips seem tight anytime he's trying to accelerate in one direction or the other. And I think that if his instincts start falling downhill because of NFL offenses, then this is going to get exploited more.
Yeah, I had to nitpick a little more because he's up at my 3. I think sometimes because of that pursuit ability he has, I think sometimes he can kind of catch himself over pursuing, and sometimes the offensive guy will cut back, but I'm not too concerned about that, and I'm not concerned about this either, but he doesn't really do much to disguise his blitz. You'll see linebackers try to disguise and everything like that, whether that's him or the defense that he played for. Either way, it doesn't really get disguised, but comps.
Oh wait, I have one more.
Go
con.
for it.
One
Yeah,
more
sorry.
con. You guys touched on everything else. It's I just, after watching his film, I came out expecting more. Like I can't stop thinking that his poor acceleration and quickness could limit him in the NFL. I wanted to see more from this guy because I think that everything is there. It's just that the one glaring thing that I just don't love him as much as other people do, and that goes into my comp. My comp for him is guacamole.
What?
People love guacamole. They go crazy for it as an appetizer, as a snack. Add it to a taco. Add it to a salad. Sometimes add it to a burger.
Toast.
Toast. Put it on toast. Yeah, white girls love avocado toast.
I know.
For no reason.
Yeah, it's like they
Healthy.
think it's like skinny magic or something.
Yeah, seriously. But so I get so much hate from people whenever I tell them that I think the guacamole is just okay.
So do I.
It's just okay.
I don't even know if I'd say it's okay.
Yeah.
I'd say it's below average.
I think it's subpar.
Yeah, it's pretty bland.
Either it tastes like nothing or it tastes like way too much like one thing. Like they
Yeah.
like put too much garlic in because they're trying to like hide the no flavor. It tastes like something that's healthy.
Yeah.
Like apples are healthy and they
Yeah.
still taste like something that's not.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's all flavor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Everybody gets my hopes up that this guacamole is great or that guacamole is really good.
Same.
But every time I just end up thinking it's fine.
It's all
and
the
that's
same.
how I feel.
It's all the same.
That's how I feel about Anthony Hill
Man,
Jr.
this guacamole talk we just had really made this guy sound terrible.
No, he's not terrible. That's the thing. I don't hate guacamole.
Lots of people love guacamole.
Lots of people love guacamole.
They serve it everywhere.
It has
just
so
think it's
many
a little-
uses.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just think it's a little bland.
Yeah.
A
Sure,
little bit
sure,
more
sure,
bland
yeah.
than I was hoping
Yeah.
for how high he's getting drafted. I'm
This
not
ain't-
drafting guacamole that high.
This ain't chocolate syrup.
No.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I got you. Yeah.
No, just like guacamole, Anthony Hill's just missing that one thing.
It's just one
He's missing
thing.
the burst and quickness. Guacamole has the health benefits. It has
Sure,
the
definitely does.
versatility. It has everything except for that little bit of flavor that you want.
Yeah, that's true.
My comp isn't as good, but
I should have had you lead. I apologize.
I see him as I think he's gonna be best as a downhill linebacker that uses his instincts to just be an all-around linebacker. That I want him to be an all-around linebacker that excels in being a downhill linebacker, but he
Sure.
can use his instincts to play elsewhere. Then also he's just big-bodied, tight hips, and because of that, I comped him to Quay Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want this guy. I want to like him so bad.
Just do it.
I want to like guacamole, but there's
Yeah.
the one thing.
Yeah.
The one thing.
I get it. Number 3, we got Josiah Trotter from Mizzou, 6'2", 237 pounds. In 2025, he played 12 games. He had 84 total tackles with 43 solo, 2 sacks, 13 tackles for loss, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumble recoveries, 1 pass defended, and 0 picks. I had him 6, Carson had him 4, and Kean had him 3.
Got some NFL pedigree here.
Here we
Nepo
go.
baby.
What?
Nepotism.
Oh.
It's I don't know what the actual definition is.
Second level of nepotism.
Oh.
Right? Brother, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
younger
Would it
brother?
be- it's levels? Is it like
Sure.
cousins? No, I guess
sure.
cousins don't work like
forget
that.
it.
Like second cousins, first cousins. I don't know if it, I don't know. But yes, his brother, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., came out in the draft a couple years ago. His dad, Jeremiah Trotter Sr., was in the NFL back in his heyday. But anyways, Jeremiah Trotter, I like this guy a lot. He can make some sharp turns at high speeds with a low center of gravity. He's got incredible bend and quickness in the phone booth to suddenly duck under blocks if he needs to. Also, he can use a low pad level to power up and almost through offensive linemen. He's scary as he charges toward that line of scrimmage. He shrugs off, slips by, or sprints around blockers with unbelievable ability is what I saw. You guys might disagree with me, but he throws his whole body into every blocker and ball carrier. He packs a punch with that frame. Also has the strength to meet the running back in the gap and overpower him to stop him in his tracks and shove him backwards. Just a great motor guy, baby.
Yeah, I think he's something you didn't say. He's great at staying square and patient behind the line of scrimmage to then eventually stand up the running back in the hole. And I think that he's an excellent downhill and blitzing linebacker and the best in the class at that. Great at swimming and shedding blocks to get behind the line of scrimmage. And he's relentless until he gets the ball. He'll go through 2 or 3 guys or even over a guy and still make the play. And then once he gets to the line, I think he has edge rusher level pass rush abilities with good lateral movement as well. And he backs all this up with an 89.2 run defense grade, 81.6 pass rush grade. I think that this guy is an edge rusher that's playing linebacker position with linebacker athleticism, and I think that that's super dangerous. But I'll get into the cons later.
Yeah, because he gets a running start before he meets the offensive lineman. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys said it well. I agree with you, but this guy is kind of my guacamole.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I really want to like him,
That's
but
great,
just his slow speed, questionable coverage ability, that really pains me to see that, and just that I'm also concerned if he can commit to being like a on the line style linebacker, or just commit to edge rusher pretty much. I'd love him even more, but if he's going to continue to play linebacker position, yeah, that slow speed, questionable coverage ability, and also that like backs and tight ends are going to be a real mismatch in the NFL with these incredibly athletic tight ends in the league nowadays. That really, really concerns me.
I agree that unfortunately this guy is also another guacamole. He's excellent, so damn good at coming downhill and blitzing, but he's just missing that coverage ability. He's liability in coverage, 47.9 coverage grade, and I don't think he's going to be that drop back into coverage kind of guy because he's also more bursty than he is fast, and I don't think he's going to be a rangy sideline to sideline linebacker.
Yeah, do not put him in coverage.
No.
He looks uncomfortable in the open field when he isn't attacking downhill. It's like he doesn't know what to do. He's like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just he's in La La Land. He's the guy, the kid in the outfield picking dandelions. So, yeah, just tell him to go get the quarterback or go get the running back, and he'll be fine. Also, there are times where he over-pursues, has to dive with outstretched arms to make an ankle tackle because he takes the wrong angle. But there are pros, and the cons are, again, pretty concerning, like Anthony Hill Jr. And the comps. I comped him to Deadpool. So as he and Wolverine fight every other Deadpool one by one and destroy each of them in different ways. This is from the latest Deadpool movie. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I've not.
There's a scene where they go into a bus.
Sure.
And he's fighting all these other Deadpools from different dimensions. And him and Wolverine are just tearing apart the other Deadpools, and they end up jumping out the back of the bus, like, alive, and everybody else is dead. There's just, like, carnage behind them. That's like whenever Trotter is making his way through the offensive line to try to get back into the backfield.
I see it.
He's just doing it with a vengeance, and he's going to likely defeat nearly every blocker in some way. He's just got so many block-shedding tools in his tool bag, and it's anybody's guess how he's going to get by. You just know that he probably is going to get by. I think the edge call out is so good, Carson. I think that he'd be awesome at edge.
I watched him make Connor Liu look like an absolute fool on one rep.
Yeah.
And to do that, we talked about in our last episode, you got to be pretty damn good to do that because Connor Liu controls the guy across from him. In this case, he made Josiah Trotter made him look like he was a high school football offensive lineman.
Tough.
But in my comp, both these guys are great downhill linebackers with a killer pass rush that's consistently making plays behind the line of scrimmage, and for that reason, I have them comped to Frankie Louvu.
I like that one.
Who might have actually been an edge rusher that converted to linebacker.
I think he was. Yeah. Frankie Louvu he's like a samurai who's really good at blitzing.
Yeah.
Frankie Louvu is a man that plays with his hair on fire, so that's a really good comp.
Yeah, it is. Number 2, we have Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech, 6'1", 231 pounds. In 2025, he played 14 games. He had 128 total tackles with 63 solo, 1 sack, 11 tackles for loss, 7 forced fumbles with 2 fumble recoveries, 6 passes defended with 4 picks. We all had him at 2.
I love this guy, and I'm sure you guys do too.
Boy,
so, a little bit of background on him before we get into it. Out of high school, he was recruited without any destination, just as an offensive weapon or offensive athlete or something like that. But ESPN had him listed as a 4-star recruit, ranked as the nation's number 3 dual-threat quarterback. Freshman year, he was listed as a quarterback at Virginia, transferred to Texas Tech, where he transitioned to a linebacker. And then fast forward to this last year, he had 2 rushing touchdowns, along with all the defensive stats that Cody just named, and he finished 5th in Heisman voting. This guy is a playmaker. Very quick burst to get downhill or make a play on the ball. Patient behind the line to let the play develop and then uses quick burst to shoot through the gap. He had a 94.8 run defense grade. That backs that up. Leads the class with 70 stops, which is defined by PFF as a tackle that constitutes a failure for the offense. 70 times this season is insane. 7 forced fumbles just this season and 4 interceptions from the linebacker position. He's a safety skill set and coverage with great instincts, jumping on routes and jumping into passing lanes, and he backs that up with a 92.3 coverage grade. And he has an amazing, accurate, and powerful punch to pop the ball loose. One of the best punches I've seen. And then to wrap it all up, this guy is never flat-footed, always dancing and looking antsy to make a play. Maybe he's even jumping too high at some points because he can't react quick enough, Jordan Love style. But he is back there ready to go like a dog that just wants to be released out of the cage.
Let him eat. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I love this guy. I'll add a few things. Like you said, when he's ready to go, he does not waste any moves getting to the ball. Like, he just has that nose for the action. Like, he knows where it's going, and he's going to get there first. And he's just going to get to the ball, make the play. He's got that mindset every single rep, and that's awesome to have in a linebacker. As far as more stats that I don't normally do, but these are incredibly impressive. Just overall production, incredible. Total tackles over his college career, 315 total, 181 solo. He had 6 total interceptions with 4 just this past year. Forced fumbles, he had 13 total in college, 7 just this past year. Just an absolute tackle machine. Just a true athlete on the field, and, of course, is a ball hawk, too. Like, he's just impressive.
Yeah, you guys said everything. I, as well, love Jacob Rodriguez. So explosive in the phone booth. He glides around the field with an easy fluidity. He can get skinny and use his speed to shoot through a gap in the backfield on pass or run plays, just relentlessly chasing the ball carrier, never, ever giving up on a play. That's things you love to see in your linebacker. So I had to really, really nitpick to find some cons for the guy because I'm just watching him. I'm like, oh, my gosh, this guy is insane. And he is not that far off of where Sonny Styles is. We all have Sonny Styles 1. Everybody, all the analysts have Sonny Styles number 1. But we need to start praising Jacob Rodriguez. Like, push him up into the first round. Seriously. Yeah. If Sonny Styles is going first round, Jacob Rodriguez needs to be going first round. 100%. This guy is amazing. But cons, unfortunately, he's not an overly big or super strong linebacker. I mean, he's 6'1", 231. Obviously, it's not huge, but in today's NFL, it's not bad either. Right. Short arms, though, 30 and 7/8 inch. If that really matters that much for a linebacker, we'll see. You're really nitpicking here. And then in 2025, he did have a 13.9% missed tackle rate. Could be attributed to the fact that he doesn't have the longest arms or the strongest wrap-up consistently. Sometimes he relies on his punch maybe too much, where he's going more after the ball than he is the ball carrier. That's all I could find that was negative about him.
Yeah, I also really nitpicked the guy because we have him all ranked above what the consensus is, and I was really trying to find reasons to not put him up there with Sonny Styles as well. But so this guy is, I wouldn't say he's the stereotypical hard-nosed meet-you-in-the-hole linebacker. Yeah. And to address the undersized issue, I agree that he looks undersized on film. But to compare his size to C.J. Allen, who we talked about earlier in the episode, who's similar to Roquan Smith and many linebackers in the NFL, same exact height as C.J. Allen, 1 pound heavier, and his arms are 5/8 of an inch shorter. So he's pretty much the exact same build as C.J. Allen, which gives me some more confidence in his size. And then I find it as a pro because in the NFL, I like guys that are going to make a difference on defense. But it's also a con. This guy lives and dies by the playmaker mentality, and he plays like a superhero quarterback that tries to do too much, like a Caleb Williams or a Josh Allen. And I think this makes him prone to missing tackles. That missed tackle rate you talked about, that in combination with his lacking length and arms to wrap up. I think, like you said, he's always going for broke, and sometimes it turns out amazing. Other times he doesn't land what he's trying to. But and then lastly, I think he has more quickness and speed. I don't know if he has that long-range speed to run down a receiver or run down a running back once they get a gap on him, but the quickness is definitely there.
Yeah, this guy, he put up one of the, actually I think it might have been the greatest, most highly graded linebacker season in college in PFF era. Wow. PFF history. That's how good Jacob Rodriguez was this year. This guy was he was taking that pickaxe and he was just striking the ground and hitting gold. And his draft stock, he went from a guy who was not being talked about at all in draft conversation before the season to now maybe a first-round pick, maybe back end of the first round. That's how good Jacob Rodriguez was this last year.
Comps?
I comped him to very high praise here, baby. Adam, the robot from Real Steel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the underdog story. I mean, Carson highlighted it. Came in as a quarterback. He was 205 pounds. 1 year at Virginia, and then transferred out. And Texas Tech is like, you're a linebacker. So then he had to make that switch. From quarterback to linebacker, that's crazy. He's not the most menacing player just like Adam is not the most menacing robot, and his frame doesn't exactly scream star linebacker. But that's exactly what he is. He's a star linebacker. Both Adam and Jacob Rodriguez are underrated and kind of undersized beasts who can help teams win championships.
Yes, love that.
I have several comps here. So, as an undersized linebacker that's really relying on his instincts to be a playmaker, I see him as a more bursty and explosive Carson Swessinger.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then also, he reminds me of Cooper DeJean coming out of college in the way that he was instinctive and just always around the ball, making a huge play. Super famous for that. He has great ball skills. And then also, similarly, he reminds me of Cam Scadabo coming out of college as just an exciting playmaker. He could throw the ball, catch the ball, run the ball, do whatever, and he carried his college team to many wins. I think Jacob Rodriguez is the same. That he's just a playmaker back there, and he should be more famous than he is because this guy's exciting to watch.
100%. Yeah, he's going to be that guy that comes into the league, and you're just going to see him on a team somewhere, and you're going to be like, who's that guy just flying around?
Yeah.
And it's Jacob Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm. I hope he keeps that mustache.
Oh, me too.
And I kind of want to see him. I think he'd be a great fit in Dallas. Dude can stay low moving costs.
Yeah.
Stay in Texas.
You're already in town?
Put a cowboy hat on him. Oh, man, baby.
Man.
You know where he'd be even better?
Where?
Houston.
Yeah.
Houston with the Miko Ryans.
Yes.
Still Texas, too.
Yeah,
That'd
baby.
be awesome. All right, our number one consensus ranked is Sonny Styles from Ohio State. 6'5", 244 pounds. In 2025, he played 14 games. He had 82 total tackles, 46 solo, 1 sack, 6.5 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, 0 fumble recoveries, 3 pass defended, and 1 pick. And yeah, like I said, we all had him one.
Yeah, you've probably, unless you're living under a rock or just don't pay attention to football, you've probably heard how elite of an athlete this guy was. The entire Combine week, it was all you heard about was Sonny Styles and his brother and what they did at the Combine. So let me just hash it out there for you. Well, the Combine was absolutely crazy. 6'5", 244 pounds, 32 and 7/8 inch arms. He put up a 4.46 40-yard dash. That's the best linebacker 40-yard dash in this class. 43.5-inch vertical jump. That is the best linebacker vertical jump in Combine history. 11'2" broad jump. That is tied for the 4th best linebacker broad jump in Combine history. He converted from safety to linebacker before the 2024 season, so he's got 2 seasons under his belt, full-time starter at linebacker. Dude has great speed, and maneuverability definitely just show up in his game. He still roams the field like he is a safety. He's so long with such a great pursuit ability, a combination that creates a large tackle radius. It's tough for a ball carrier to escape his reach. In 2025, he had just a 2.2% missed tackle rate. That is insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Especially considering he's coming from safety. So this guy, yeah, safety's at the tackle, but not nearly to the amount that a linebacker does. You have to cover too. And this guy is just a surefire tackler this year especially. And I think that this guy can be just a great complement to a team who has a linebacker who already has a linebacker who can handle stopping the run and blitzing, because this guy can be an amazing lightning to some teams' thunder. And people are comping him to Fred Warner. Can we stop it? Can we stop comping him to Fred Warner?
Yeah.
He is an amazing lightning, and he could play the Fred Warner role, but he's not Fred Warner. But this guy is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, insane athleticism, and on the tape that shows when he quickly gets into the backfield, closes passing lanes, or hawks down scrambling quarterbacks in no time. Gets skinny, flies through the gap in the line and makes tackles. Then that long wingspan that gives him a large tackle radius also pops on film.
Yeah.
Consistently bringing down ball carriers that are outside of his frame. And then that 2.2% missed tackle radius is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to add. I was a big fan of him too, and I agree with what you guys said. Just overall versatile, athletic, good size, great size actually compared to some of these linebackers in this class. Great tackle finisher. Yeah, he's effective from anywhere on the field, and that's clear to see. That's probably the safety mindset in him a little bit too. But I was impressed how well he got through traffic too to wrap up and tackle. Cons wise, I think that the way he starts and stops, I think that's a little bit slower than I'd like to see. But maybe that's just because he's bigger, and obviously he ran a fast 40. But I think that little quickness from starting and stopping and changing directions a little bit slower. And I think that I didn't know how to say this either, but he occasionally, like we're nitpicking, he's our number one guy. He occasionally looks to either react slow, slash be a little hesitant slash
I saw that too.
slash let the play come to him. I don't know which one it is, but it kind of showed up.
No, I saw that too.
I'm calling for a break pump on Sonny Styles.
Yeah,
Sure,
please.
sure.
I think that people are going way too crazy on him. Putting him in the top 3 or top 5 in the draft is absolutely insane because I'm going to get into it here. My comp is going to explain it even better. But just to get into my cons here, I think he lacks instincts, flat out. And I think that he relies on reaction rather than recognition and prediction. And immediately that separates him from Fred Warner. Fred Warner is so great because he's athletic, but he can also see the play before it's even coming. It's like he's in the huddle with the offense. Sonny Styles doesn't have that. Right now, Sonny Styles is just dominating college football because he's so damn fast and so big that he can get away with not predicting it. But in the NFL, I think that's going to get exploited.
Completely agree.
He seems lackadaisical at times. Like he isn't in a hurry to get to the play and doesn't really charge downhill like he wants to hit somebody. He doesn't always drive through the tackle either and send the ball carrier backwards. He still tackles like a safety, to be honest with you. And he lacks some physicality for a hard-nosed linebacker. I've noticed way too many arm tackles, and he's not really putting a body on somebody, which makes the 2.2% missed tackle rate even more impressive because so many of these tackles are arm tackles and not really powerful. And then he's mostly linear speed. Anytime he has to change direction or move laterally, he significantly slows down, and that's why I kind of hate the Underwear Olympics because it gets you talking about guys like this forever that you aren't concerned about their lateral agility or their change of direction whenever you're just running in a straight line, which doesn't happen very often unless you're trying to run down a broken play. So I think that I think he's closer to a Kyle Hamilton than he is a Fred Warner. And I think that as a true linebacker, I think that he lacks the instincts and the hard nose to really excel in the NFL right away.
Completely agree with everything you just said. He's reactive right now because he knows he's a better athlete than who he's playing against in college. So he knew that he can just wait and then just run him down because he could do that because he did it successfully. He still is, he's 244 pounds, but he's still lanky. He's got less strength. He's not a hard hitter. He's also not really a pass rusher or blitzer. There are times where he gets kind of caught up, or he's not the shoot the gap kind of player consistently. He let Arvell Reese do that a lot of times.
Yeah, you're right.
He also, I saw the hesitation whenever he nears a ball carrier, just like you guys did. It's like he's not powering through the ball carrier. There's no like, not that you need to do this, but it is fun to see. There's no punishing the ball carrier. It's just like as Carson said, it was all arm tackles, which is still very impressive. The dude's got the wingspan and he's got the strength in his upper body to just hold tight and drag him down. But there are concerns that everybody's looking over because Underwear Olympics and top 3, as Carson said, is absolutely crazy, and I don't want to draft him that high. I think he's still a first-round player. I think that there are talents there, but I'd feel a lot better about it if you get him outside the top 12, 15, get him closer to that range, and I'd probably feel a lot better.
To give you more perspective, in my rankings, I always give tiers. I do golf-based tiers, so eagle, birdie, par, bogey, double bogey.
Yep.
I have him in the same tier as Jacob Rodriguez, C.J. Allen, Josiah Trotter, and Anthony Hill Jr. all in the birdie tier. And to get into the eagle tier, that's guys like Abdul Carter, Ashton Genty, like Tyler Warren, those level of guys. And I think Sonny Styles still belongs in the birdie tier because there's just too much missing in his game, and I'm not super stoked about him. But like you said, I still think that he warrants first half of the first round maybe, but this high is crazy. So comps?
He's the guy version of Elastigirl from The Incredibles. Styles has a very large tackle radius with his length and speed combo, and ball carriers hate to see him trailing them in open space because the ball carrier is probably going to be caught. Although Styles may have used this combo to his advantage in college, where he didn't always have to know where the ball carrier was going because he knew he could catch them eventually, and that could bite him in the ass.
True.
And sometimes Elastigirl, there are times in the movie where she just gets too stretched out.
Outstretched.
And
Bad news.
Mr. Incredible.
All right. My comp. So I have him as an Isaiah Simmons V2 with the crazy athleticism, crazy combine performance, crazy versatility, and incredible college pedigree. So to put this into perspective, Isaiah Simmons was also a linebacker similar to Sonny Styles coming out of college. He had a next gen stats: 99 production score, 99 athleticism score. Ran a 4.39 at the combine at 6'4" and 238. 11-foot broad jump, 39 vert. This guy was an absolutely insane athlete coming out of Clemson. Everybody was so high on him because he could play on the edge, he could play D tackle, linebacker, cornerback, safety. He could do it all because he had the athleticism and size to do so, kind of like Sonny Styles does.
But was he good in the NFL?
Well, you see, he should have been because he got taken with the 8th overall pick by the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Sonny Styles range. And then in the NFL, he did the exact same thing that we're worried that Sonny Styles is going to do. He's so athletic and so versatile that he doesn't really excel in one spot. He's not quite like laterally quick enough to play safety or corner, but he's not quite hard hitting enough to play linebacker. He's like a bad tweener right now. He doesn't have the intangibles and the skills to be on the edge. So it's just like he's too versatile almost, and a team would have to use him in the right way. And the Cardinals did not use Isaiah Simmons in the right way, and now the Giants aren't using him in the right way. And wherever he is, in college he was relying on that athleticism and size and just didn't have the instincts to come to the NFL and do it right away. And I think that makes Sonny Styles the Isaiah Simmons V2.
Yeah.
Oh, well done. Yeah, that's
well
good.
said. Well, that wraps our top 5. Now, any special shout-outs to any other linebackers?
Hell yeah, baby. I like this class.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a guy who, as Carson said before we started filming, he was a player who was maybe going to go in the Sonny Styles range like 2 years ago. And then he just fell. He had an ACL injury in 2024 and fell. And that guy is Harold Perkins Jr. out of LSU. I love the guy because he's got crazy versatility. I mean, we talked about Sonny Styles. Obviously, I don't think this guy is as good as Sonny Styles, but since his freshman year at LSU, throughout his college career, he's lined up 935 snaps in the box at linebacker, 668 snaps at slot corner,
Jeez.
589 snaps at edge, also 19 snaps at outside corner and 5 snaps back at safety. But dude is a missile in pursuit. He lowers his shoulder into blockers and into the ball carrier. He can stay on his pursuit line pretty well with the punch he packs. Really good top speed with a really good acceleration to take off like the missile that he is. He's a smaller frame. Still plays with some solid power and pops. He's 6'1", 223 pounds with 31 3/8-inch arms, quick feet to change directions and swivel his hips as he roams the field in coverage. He's got real potential to be an exciting all-around linebacker, I think, but there are reasons that he dropped, and some of those reasons are because he has a really high missed tackle rate of 18.8% throughout his college career, 21% in 2025, because he doesn't always wrap up. Sometimes he just tries to pop the ball carrier and gets rocked himself.
Yes.
Because he's only 223 pounds.
Yeah, it's like he throws his shoulder at him, and sometimes his shoulder misses, and he just hits him with his back.
It's like, I'm going to try this one helicopter, and he sends his body swinging in like that.
Yeah, I picture like penguins, like when penguins like run into each other. Yeah, their flippers are just at their side, and they just like bonk each other.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yes, he has very little care for his own body, despite being a smaller linebacker, which makes me think maybe you should care for your body some more. And as I said, he suffered a torn ACL in September 2024. He was a former 5-star recruit out of high school whose draft stock has absolutely plummeted since that injury, and people are starting to see, like, okay, maybe this guy isn't very smart with his body. But my call for him, he's a flashbang.
That's a good one.
Here's Google Gemini's AI overview of a flashbang grenade. It's, quote, a non-lethal pyrotechnic device designed to disorient, distract, and temporarily stun people by producing an intensely loud bang, 170 to 180 plus decibels, and a blinding flash of light. It's used primarily by law enforcement and military for room clearing and hostage rescues. They stun targets by causing temporary deafness, blindness, and balance loss. And sometimes, if you throw the flashbang and you're too close to it, you get the effects too. Because sometimes whenever he throws himself at somebody, he's the one who gets more hurt.
Yeah.
It's like he
100%.
flashbanged himself.
Yes. Yeah. If he's a flashbang, definitely non-lethal.
Yeah.
And flashbangs like implode. That's him.
Yeah.
So.
But I do the athletic ability, and everybody's saying like, he's just not the same athletically since his ACL injury, but he's still a crazy freak athlete.
Yeah.
He's still insane. And I'm hoping that now with ACL injuries, it's always the year after that you actually see some guys come back. So I'm hoping that maybe a team that drafts him sees a solid return more than they thought, because maybe he gains some of that athletic ability back. Yeah. Harold Perkins Jr. the flashbang.
Well said. I want to shout out Jake Golday from Cincinnati. He's 6'4.5", 239 pounds. So another big-bodied linebacker. Just very explosive athleticism, I'd call it. So athletic, but explosive athleticism. He really excels around the line of scrimmage. Not really much of a coverage fella, but I like his strong and heavy hands. He just is able to attack blocks and get off blocks well to go chase down the quarterback or whoever's back there. And just a very strong tackle finisher, who's another guy who's always looking to lay a big hit, which I absolutely love. As far as cons for him, he's a little bit slow to diagnose. That's not really his game, but even so, I'd still like to see him be able to diagnose and anticipate a little bit better. Sometimes he likes to try to go under blocks, which causes him to lose a little bit of angle, so he has to end up chasing a little bit more, or just lose them in general. And his short area quickness is not great, but I think that he has a burst, like a tackle burst. I think that's pretty impressive. And if he's in the area, he's able to have that explosion from his legs to wrap up. So I thought that was good. Overall, I'm a big fan of him. I think I had him at my 5 ranked linebacker. So I'm a big fan of him, just around the line of scrimmage type of linebacker. Clearly not much of a coverage guy.
I agree. This is another guy that I see as a kind of an awkward tweener. He's somewhere between an edge defender and a linebacker. And I think that compromises to him being best as a downhill linebacker that can come lay the wood and take on blocks.
Yeah.
And he does that very well. But like you said, in coverage, he has the movement abilities of an edge defender, and I think that's why he needs to stay close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, this guy is clearly an edge.
Yeah, very clearly.
He switched from there, obviously, but 6'4.5", 239 pounds with 31 7/8 inch arms. He does attack downhill with anger. He's a human body slammer, as Cody said. Whenever he gets close and he actually has a chance to bring you down, he is going to drive you into the ground.
Yeah, I love it.
But so aggressive. He's got real potential, I think, to be an aggressive run-stopping / blitzing linebacker in the NFL who always has his nose around the line of scrimmage. There's definitely a role for him in the NFL, but he's something that other guys just are not. He looks like, for better or for worse, he looks like Max Crosby trying to play off-ball linebacker.
Yeah,
Length, relentlessness, but definitely has open field movement limitations as a defensive lineman. My comp for him is a dog obsessed with playing fetch. As the play is developing, he'll bounce on his toes, gradually inching closer to the line of scrimmage because that's where he's comfortable.
Yep.
And as soon as a ball carrier starts running or when the ball is thrown, he takes off and he won't stop pursuing until the play is over. He is a very unique and fun player to watch, but I hope that a team uses him properly. Like we're talking about guys like Isaiah Simmons and Sonny Styles, where we don't know if these guys are actually going to get used properly because Isaiah Simmons was not. But coaching is now better in the NFL, I think, so I'm hoping that there is a role for this guy because he does have talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have any comps I love for the guy. I settled on a thinner version of Jack Campbell, but I really don't love that. What I saw on his tape was he honestly looked a lot like Jalen Phillips when Jalen Phillips drops back into coverage. But I didn't want to go with that comp because he does have better movement ability than him, and he's smaller. But that just kind of emphasizes the point that he's like an edge rusher.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many unique linebackers in this class. I hope you're going to talk about another one.
Speaking of another unique linebacker,
Here we go.
This is my linebacker 7. Or no, my linebacker 6, Kian 6, the consensus 6, and Cody's 7.
Yeah.
And that's Kyle Lewis out of Pittsburgh, sorry. Now, this guy's unique because he's 6 foot and only 220. So he's not built like your stereotypical linebacker, but he's still very well-rounded in his abilities. He can get into the backfield in a hurry, super fast, plays like a safety in coverage, short-handed tackler at his smaller size. And overall, he's just a great playmaker. From interceptions, tackles to loss, sacks, you name it. This guy can wrap up and play like a linebacker, but at a smaller size. He is safety. He is built like a safety, a box safety. And that's one of my biggest cons. And then because of that, he struggles against blockers sometimes. My comp is with the build and play style more like a box safety. One that is good at getting into the backfield and making plays. I see a lot of similarities in him with is Nick Cross.
Yeah. I also comped him to a safety. My comp for him was Jabril Peppers. He's a thick safety / utility man who is a better tackler than he is coverage player. Zips around like an angry troll and definitely moves and plays like a unique tweener, much like Kyle Lewis. And this guy had an amazing combine that was just overshadowed by Sonny Styles. He was 4th among linebackers in the 40, 3rd in the 10-yard split, 4th in the vertical jump, 2nd in the broad jump, 2nd in the 3-cone, 3rd in the 20-yard shuttle. This guy also, he lined up at slot corner for 515 snaps over the past 2 seasons. Almost 300 alone this past season. He was in the slot for a third of his snaps last season, which is insane for a linebacker. And he actually played well, too. He had a 72.3 coverage grade. So this guy is no slouch. He is a mover. Literally looks like a safety, as Carson said. His hips, too, are just so fluid. Something we'll be talking about with safeties and corners in a couple weeks. Like, how quickly can they turn their hips and backpedal or turn and start sprinting one way and stop, go the other way. This guy's insane in that. It's crazy that he's a linebacker because he can tackle so well. And Carson highlighted all the cons. I just think that he plays like a smaller linebacker, and he comes with the cons of being a smaller linebacker, but I think that you draft him because he's something that you cannot always find. For a linebacker to be able to play your slot corner position and play it well, that's insane.
I agree.
It's kind of like wrestling. I know this isn't really going to make sense to a lot of people, but I think that a team needs to use him the right way. First of all, they need to use him as a box safety type and not a linebacker. And for the wrestling comparison, it's much easier for you to cut weight, lose a little muscle mass, and go down a weight class to wrestle guys than it is to put on mass and go up, because then you're wrestling stronger guys.
Yeah,
so it's better to be stronger and like get unhealthy for a little bit and go down and wrestle. And that relates to this, because when you're trying to find a box safety, I personally think it's better to find a small linebacker, have him maybe cut a little bit of weight so he can get faster and play that, because he still has the nitty-gritty hard nose of a linebacker, than it is to find a safety, try to bulk him up a little bit, and then try to play that role because he doesn't have that hard nose instincts from that kind of box position that a linebacker would. So I think that he is, like you said, I think he's kind of rare in the form that he's a smaller linebacker. He'll fit the box safety mold than bringing a safety down for that.
How about this? What if Sonny Styles played safety?
Whoa.
I know that's crazy.
Oh, wow.
But
I
mean,
we might be on to something.
I've nobody think of this before.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that wraps up this episode here. Thank you guys for watching all these episodes. We got more coming still. We got defensive? We got safeties.
Yeah, we got
corners,
edge rushers.
edges.
Yeah. Yep.
Edge rushers,
Defensive
D
tackles.
tackles, corners, safeties.
Yeah, baby. Coming to you in the next 2 weeks, and then we have our big mock draft coming in 3 weeks. Busy rest of this draft pre-draft schedule.
Yeah.
We're gonna crank it out. All the best boys just crank them out.
Oh, yeah.
Crank it out.
Just crank it out.
Just crank it out.
Every day we're cranking them out.
Yep.
My guy episode in there too somewhere.
Yes,
Somewhere
my guy
in there.
episode is going to come out right before the mock draft. It's going to be a fun close to this pre-draft season.
Yeah.
And then the draft is in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. I hope you guys are too. I'm sure you are. An exciting time of the year. So thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Catch you on the next episode.